Today, I'm sharing what I'm changing to be even more productive in the new year as a female Christian business owner. So, if you need someone to chat with in a non judgmental space and could use some fresh ideas and are like almost what I like to say, healthy comparison of like, wow, this is a thing for her. She's doing it. And I'm going to go deeper into that too. Like, this is for you. You guys, these are things that I kind of knew but they hit different now. And my prayer is that in your listening today to this episode, this is going to change something deeply for you too. So if you like this content, you like this episode, be sure to subscribe because next up, I'm going to be sharing what I'm doing in the new year to be even more productive, effective as a Christian business owner that loves the Lord. Okay, you guys, hey, I'm Alexandra Cavill. I'm a professional certified coach and the founder of Grace Based Christian Coaching. At GSCC, we are all about prioritizing. I'll partner with ambitious women, oftentimes small business owners, who love what they do, but they're feeling overwhelmed, distracted, maybe doubtful, experiencing defeat, personally or professionally. And they're looking for practical strategies so that they can live and think differently to experience excellence in their work and life while honoring their faith in what matters most. So let's get into it. Here's what I'm changing, maybe what you can do to be even more productive in the new year as a female Christian business owner. Okay, so first off, I was psychology pre-med back in undergrad. And I'm thinking back to, I'm sure most of y'all have taken a psychology 101, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And one of these is the physical needs, right? Like getting our physical needs met. That is something as humans that God created us with. And using a word from last podcast, like surrender, let's honor that and respect that. So, one of the things that I'm working on doing even better is to have more rhythms in exercise. So, what that looks like, there is a like almost like bar slash high intensity class that I have purchased a package from. And so, without fail, typically every Saturday morning, what I'll do is go to that class. Um, and it's just great. It's great to get out of the house. It's great to be pushed more than I might at my own home. It's great to see other people like normalizing it, doing the same thing, and kicking off a weekend well. So that's a piece of things. Another piece is I am working to have more consistency and regularity in how I show up and working out from the home. So you know what, this is one of the good things that was born out of the COVID period, actually. Found a lot of really solid YouTube videos. And so what I did was I compiled them in a document. I've categorized them by type, maybe strength training, high intensity, ballet bar, things like that. And then the other great thing, you guys, is I put in parentheses the amount of time that it takes to do that workout. Because as a busy business owner and busy mom, you got windows, and sometimes you have the energy or the time to do something specific, and this just helps eliminate excuses, makes it as easy as possible. And like bringing the girls along into it too. Like, since my now 4-year-old is maybe like 16 months, we do this together, and she loves to do the squats, or I have like little 1 pound weights that she'll like to use too, and just make it a family affair. Like, it is so cute. And then a casual type of an exercise. So I think of this as something like walking to the park, walking around the neighborhood, just things like that. So having a combination, keeping it interesting, keeping variety can be really helpful. But not only that, having a plan and structure to live these out. Okay, so like this is honestly, you guys, such a great example of what I'll work with clients on too. It's not just what you're doing, but the way that it works for your schedule, what's going on in your life, and the heart in which you're doing it for, right? Like at the beginning of this, I spoke about it's not driven from a striving or place of perfectionism. It's really honoring how Jesus created me and supporting that so that I can love my family, my clients, and take care of the my own body, which is a temple, right? Like scripture says, in which the Holy Spirit resides. So this is something that I've been working with a longtime client on, and like there's no other word besides mind blowing. The results that she's gotten when she has done this out of Jesus's strength, out of Him pouring out of her, it has been insane in the best way. So if this is something that you could use support in, let's talk. You can go to gracebased.christiancoaching.com, find a link for a clarity call, and we'll dig into deeper how this could work for you. All right, another area I'm changing to be even more productive is spending more time in contemplation. One of the things that I've said for years and years, and will continue to say for years and years, is pausing is productive. And connected to that, prayer is productive. So, journaling is a great way to do this. The Valmarie Paper Prayer Journal is one of my very favorites. It will categorize your prayers and give you some structure to it, consistency with it. The years that I use my Valmarie Paper Prayer Journal, hands down, are the most powerful years where I see transformation and growth personally and professionally. I like to think of prayer as something that's it for me. It works better when it feels active. So writing out my prayers in a journal, kind of like as they flow, that's something that can be really helpful. And just think about what are some highlights of your day? Like what's going well, what's not, and then considering what are the themes that keep coming up again and again for you, and what is God indicating through that that may need to shift or change. So journaling is another one. Okay. Vision casting, thinking bigger. One of the scriptures that I had never heard until the past several years was that without vision, the people perish, right? Like vision is important for God's people. It matters. Thinking bigger. I'm reminded of, I believe this is John 10:10. He comes to give us life and life abundant, while the thief comes to kill, steal, and destroy. So like, what would it look like to think bigger, to dream bigger, to have an abundant life? Something that is so big that can so clearly only be accomplished through God and His strength and His power. We actually have a PDF on the website. So if you go to gracebased.christiancoaching.com/GSCC shop on how to make your vision board come to life this year. So if you are someone who likes vision boarding, but you're like, well, what if that was grounded in God? But how? This document is going to walk you through just that. So again, gracebased.christiancoaching.com/GSCC shop. And honestly, like this is a big topic that I'll work with my clients on. So we'll come up with words of the year, but not just coming up with ones that have meaning and depth, but practical plans and strategies of how to actually live this out. And doing goal setting too, right? Like, what should the goals look like for the year? How can I get them grounded in God? What does this need to look like lived out and not just on a pretty piece of paper or Word document? So again, if this is something for you, let's talk. gracebased.christiancoaching.com. Find that link for a clarity call. All right, another thing that I'm continuing to lean into and press into is education and mentorship. Game changing, game changing. So I've hired a coach this year. We've worked on a lot of things, particularly in my business and a few in mindset too. Working with counselors, right? Like, how can I get to the most healed and healthy place to support people in the most powerful, whole way? Like, this matters. It's not just something that I talk about, but am so fully living and embodying. And you get to experience the power of that and the fruit of that when we work together. I went away on a business retreat with other Christian business owners who love the Lord in May. It was so good. Um, Updating my website, right? Like having it more accurately reflect who I'm serving and how I'm serving them. Becoming part of masterminds, purchasing a course or two, like digging into so many different things. I like literally, it's just been the best. And so if you've been thinking about that, but have kind of been putting it off, or you're like, that feels like a nice to have, but I don't think I'm gonna have time or capacity. Like this will do things in your life and work that will create space and effectiveness and simplicity. Go for it. There's a little hint, there's something really, really fun that's been in the works that you're going to see more of early in the new year if you're looking for a place with more community, connection, Jesus, and focus on what you're doing in a way that matters. All right, connected but different, more community. This is something that, again, has been life changing. I mean, I just like am so deeply grateful for the community I've created this year in business, and with church. These are things that, to be quite honest, like I'd use the word hopeless, maybe even like thinking, does this exist? What does this look like? Why is this taking so long? What is going on that this isn't happening, God? My encouragement to you, that had been helpful for me, is to keep pressing in. Do not give up. You have a Be faithful, be trusting, keep moving, keep going forward. He has something so beautiful and honest to God, gosh, even more better than you could imagine that he's got waiting for you. People, they are fuel. They will keep you going. You get to pour back into them. It is so beautiful. It's a picture of God. Um, and I feel like it's a little slice of heaven, right? Us working together to serve and love and care for each other. Something I'll even do is place on our fridge, we've got a whiteboard, and I'll intentionally write down the names of a few people that I want to create deep and meaningful relationships with so that I can see that, I can remember that, I can reach out to them with more regularity. And like, hey, bonus points if you take the vulnerable step and share with them that they are one of these people. What a gift that would be if someone did that for you, right? And consider, what kind of friend do you want to be? Like, what is your friendship brand? Who do you want to show up as? When people think of you, what do you want them to think of? When you step into a conversation with someone, like, what is the, I don't want to use the word filter, but it's almost like, how are you intentionally showing up? You want people to experience you as X, Y, and Z. Like, be that, do that. Um, here's another one, having less guilt about time to myself. So maybe this is kind of coming out again of the period when we were all, you know, locked up during COVID in our homes more than usual. And on the other side of that, I, I just, as someone who's naturally, I'd say I'm an extrovert and introvert, like I just spent so much time out of the house as I could with people, engaging, connecting, and there was so much good that was part of that. But there was almost like a FOMO to the extent that I haven't experienced before. Um, and it prevented, I think, some of the depth of growth and connection with God that was needing to happen. So now I'm being like more guilt free, like more relentless about going deeper with the Lord, with my husband, my family, um, and knowing that's just what it takes. It takes some time to step aside, be set apart. And that's how some really beautiful things grow. It doesn't mean this is a forever thing. Maybe it means it's for a season thing. I think it's Nehemiah. This was something in our coaching program. Like, I'm doing a great work and I cannot come down. So look that up. That's in scripture somewhere, but maybe you're in this place too. I'm doing a great work and I cannot come down. So think about what that is. Thank God for that and honor that if that's the season you're into. All right, a couple more things. You want to do it all well. Like, I see you, I know you, but you're overwhelmed. You're suffocating a bit, right? If you're being honest. And so, my invitation to you is to consider, what systems can you adopt and make part of your life? So, a couple things that I've done: monthly family planning. So, I'll look at the calendar ahead and think, what do we want to incorporate? Like, I'll have a document of activities for my kids, different things like parks, museums, things like that, and think, what do we want to pop on our calendar this month to intentionally connect, do, make memories? Something that we used to do all the time when our kids were younger, my husband and I would like probably a solid 4 to 5 days a week, take an hour-long walk together, have really, really good and rich conversation. But as the girls get bigger and more active, it's harder to have that depth of conversation. So we are so fortunate to have my mother-in-law living in town, as of recently. So thinking like, oh, maybe she can come over during nap time and we can weekly maybe have these solo walks and reconnect in this way, like a really easy, simple way. We're not paying to go out to dinner or a sitter, like just getting creative with the time and the chapter that we're in, um, and prioritizing each other. And one of the ones that I just love to talk about is batching my Amazon returns. So we We love Amazon. I don't get to get out to the store all that much these days. And so most of the shopping happens on there, but of course, not everything works. So having a big, like one of those big bags you'll get from Marshall's Home Goods, and just popping what I need to over the month in that bag and then doing the returns at once to just make it easy, simple. I don't really have to think about that. All right. And then last but not least is rest. This is how we ended the last episode too, really, is just honoring your limits, less about pushing the envelope with a later bedtime because when like you regret it. But when do you regret getting more sleep? When do you regret going to bed early? Rest is everything. I'll talk with this about clients all the time. Maybe we need to do an episode on rest coming up. But if this is something that you are constantly falling short in, and find as an issue, you're feeling guilty or shame around it, um, you just feel like it's not possible, no. Let's talk. There are biblical foundations, different ways you can think about this, strategies that you can apply to make this different for you because it matters. It's going to change the game for you when you recognize and honor your rest well. Again, gracebased-coaching.com. Learn more about how we can work together there. So you guys, don't forget, subscribe to the podcast on YouTube if you need more of this in your life. Because next up, this is going to be, this episode was real solid. This next one too, gold. We're talking about 6 approaches to try as a Christian business owner for goal setting that works and has results. Screenshot and share this episode, share it with a friend, text it with a friend, bring people along for the transformation with you. I cannot wait to see you next time.